The truth was always there, hidden, obscured, deliberately buried. We speak of Dona de Mim, not the saccharine drama spoon-fed to millions. No, we speak of its censored heart, a narrative so explosive, so dangerous, it was ripped from the final cut. Its fragments, like shattered prophecies, were deemed too perilous for public eyes. They feared its power. They feared you. They feared the connections you might make. The veil is about to be lifted. What if a popular Brazilian soap opera was not mere entertainment? What if it was a meticulously crafted message, a warning, a revelation? The creators, seemingly innocent storytellers, were perhaps conduits. Or were they players in a much larger game? A game played in shadows, a game for the soul of the world. The censored scenes, the altered scripts. These were not accidents. They were acts of suppression, an attempt to silence a truth too terrifying to comprehend. Prepare to see Dona de Mim as it was truly intended. On the surface, Dona de Mim captivated Brazil. Its tales of love, betrayal, and family drama were standard fare, or so it seemed. Millions tuned in nightly. They laughed, they cried, they remained oblivious to the subtext, the intricate web of symbols woven into its very fabric. The show was a Trojan horse, delivering a payload of esoteric knowledge, right under the noses of an unsuspecting audience. Its title, Owner of Myself, hinted at a deeper struggle for sovereignty. The narrative arc appeared simple. A young woman's fight for independence, her journey through adversity. Yet beneath this veneer lay another story. A story of ancient bloodlines, of secret societies vying for control, of a destiny far larger than any single character. The answers were there for those willing to decode them. Central to the hidden plot of Dona de Mim was the Boaz family. On screen they were philanthropists, pillars of the community. Their wealth seemed boundless, their influence far-reaching, but their name, Boaz. This was no arbitrary choice. It was a key, a direct link to the esoteric, to the very foundations of secret societies that have shaped history. The scriptwriters chose it with chilling precision. A name echoing through Masonic lodges for centuries, Boaz, one of the two bronze pillars, standing at the porch of Solomon's temple, a potent symbol in Freemasonry, representing strength, establishment, but also a gateway, a passage to deeper knowledge. The Boaz family was just the beginning. Dona de Mim was saturated with Masonic symbolism, often dismissed as set dressing or artistic license. But the sheer volume, the specificity, it defied coincidence. The square and compasses, the all-seeing eye, the acacia sprig. These were not mere props. They were messages, woven into the architecture of the Boaz mansion, embroidered on clothing, even appearing in fleeting background shots, each a silent testament. Consider the recurring motif of the number 3. 3 main branches of the Boaz family, triangles subtly incorporated into logos and patterns. The rule of threes, a fundamental concept in Masonic ritual and philosophy. The show's narrative structure itself often unfolded in 3 acts, or presented dilemmas with 3 possible outcomes. This was not accidental storytelling. Beyond visual symbols, Dona de Mim communicated through numbers. Numerology, an ancient esoteric science, was deeply embedded in its structure. Key dates within the show's timeline, character ages, episode numbers where pivotal events occurred. These were not random. They were chosen, calculated. Each digit pulsed with hidden meaning, a numerical cipher waiting to be cracked. The patterns were undeniable, once you knew where to look. The series premiered on a date whose digits, when summed, reduced to a master number, a number with profound significance in numerological charts. The protagonist celebrated her 33rd birthday in a crucial episode. 33, the highest degree in Scottish Rite Freemasonry. A number of mastery and sacrifice. Coincidence? Unlikely. Not when combined with a relentless, symbolic landscape. The numbers confirmed what the symbols suggested. A deliberate, esoteric design. Specific sequences of numbers appeared repeatedly on license plates, clocks, and financial statements within the show. The web of intrigue spun by Dona de Mim extends further, deeper into history, into the hallowed yet guarded halls of the Vatican. We must consider the almost forgotten prophecy of Pope Leo XIII. In 1884, the pontiff experienced a terrifying vision, a conversation between God and Satan. Satan boasted he could destroy the church, if given enough time and power. 75 to 100 years, he claimed. This vision shook Leo XIII to his core. Following this chilling experience, Pope Leo XIII composed the prayer to Saint Michael. He mandated its recitation after every low mass, a spiritual shield against the encroaching darkness. He saw a future besieged by demonic forces, a period of intense spiritual warfare. What if this prophecy was not just about the church? What if it foretold a broader assault on humanity? An era of unprecedented manipulation by shadowy forces, the very forces hinted at in Dona de Mim. The timeline is crucial. 75 to 100 years from 1884. This period encompasses the tumultuous 20th century. The connection between Pope Leo XIII's vision and Dona de Mim is not superficial. It is woven into the very narrative threads of the show. The telenovela's central conflict often mirrors a struggle between good and evil, but with a disturbing ambiguity. The lines are blurred. Characters who seem virtuous harbor dark secrets. Those portrayed as antagonists sometimes display surprising compassion. This moral complexity reflects the subtle infiltration foretold by the Pope. Evil not as a caricature, but as a pervasive, seductive influence. Consider the show's timeline. Key events in Dona de Mim often coincided with anniversaries or symbolic dates related to the Pope's prophecy, or with periods of intense global crisis that fit the prophecy's dark outlook. The writers seem to be drawing parallels, suggesting that the fictional world of their creation was a microcosm, a reflection of a larger prophesied spiritual battle. The show's title, Owner of Myself, takes on new meaning, a struggle for spiritual autonomy in an age of deception. The theme of a 100-year plan surfaces in cryptic dialogues within Dona de Mim. Characters speak of long-term strategies, of legacies that span generations. The tendrils of this conspiracy extend beyond fiction, beyond historical prophecy. They reach into the heart of contemporary geopolitics, the actions of global leaders like Putin and Trump, their sudden rises to power, their disruptive policies, their often antagonistic relationship. Could these be mere political theater, or are they moves in a grander game, orchestrated by the same shadowy organizations hinted at in Dona de Mim? The telenovela's plot lines involving rival factions and manipulated leaders seem eerily prescient. Consider the narrative of division, the pitting of East against West, populism versus globalism. Dona de Mim featured powerful, charismatic figures who polarized public opinion, who thrived on chaos. Their actions, seemingly independent, often served the hidden agenda of the Boaz dynasty, or its unseen masters. The parallels to the real-world political stage are striking. Putin and Trump, often portrayed as adversaries, could instead be fulfilling roles assigned by a hidden directorate, a council of shadows. Secret societies have long been rumored to influence governments, to manipulate economies, to foment wars. The journey is complete, from a censored Brazilian telenovela to the ancient symbols of Freemasonry, through the chilling prophecy of a pope to the corridors of global power. The connections are undeniable. Dona de Mim was not an isolated piece of entertainment. It was a convergence point, a place where hidden truths, esoteric knowledge, and geopolitical machinations intersected. The show was a mirror, reflecting a reality many choose to ignore, but ignorance offers no protection. The Boaz family, the Masonic codes, the numerological map, Pope Leo XIII's vision, the actions of Putin and Trump. Each piece on its own might seem circumstantial, coincidental, but together, they form a coherent, terrifying tapestry, a tapestry woven by unseen hands that guide, manipulate, control. The implications are staggering.